A commanding victory by Cloud9 to start off the series. No lane shenanigans, no 4v1, 4v0 tower swaps, straight up lanes. And we talked about how TSM were ideally looking for that sort of scenario coming into this game. Didn't look like it helped, didn't look like it mattered.
Yeah, it looked like what TSM, their ideal situation to win, but every single lane just looked like they got outclassed. The best lane was pretty much Dyrus versus Balls, that was the closest, and they didn't really have that large impact on the game. Hyde just killed Bjergsen all around the map. He rotated better, and even in the bot lane, Sneaky Castro and Elimination, they just look like they outclassed TSM's bot lane.
Yeah, the top lane only going even, not even going in Dyrus' favor on that Lee Sin. Champion you don't really associate with Dyrus, but he seemed to perform pretty well. TSM gave up some early kills, lost a blue buff, were pushed around the map a little bit, and it felt like they were making some desperation plays. What do you think, Kobe?
Yeah, I definitely want to highlight that mid lane that you pointed out, because Bjergsen, he made some roams where he got caught by the rest of the team, and then he also died 1v1 to High. Both of those resulted in not just that lane going in Cloud9's favor, but also in the jungle going in their favor. Each time Bjergsen makes one of those mistakes, Meteos gets something ahead. The first time, he gets the blue buff steal on the odd one. And this is why I always say the junglers that plan well, play well, because Meteos, after they kill odd one and steal his blue buff, Meteos goes back, farms his red buff. As soon as he sees the death timer from Odd One come up, he starts timing in his head, how long will it take for Odd One to come to my blue? And he gets there 5 seconds before Odd One does. He's just standing in the bush waiting for Odd One to come try and answer and counter his blue in return, and they kill him again while he's trying to make up for the ground that they've already lost.
Talking about the Odd One, picked up the Feral Flare jungler with Zinzao, got himself some stacks. Not the fastest, not the slowest that we've seen that upgrade. Saint, you were talking a little bit about Odd One's maybe adjustment from yesterday to today. What was your take on Odd One outside of some decision making, his individual play style? Because he struggled that game. 0-6-1 by the end of it. Yeah,
it just looked like TSM and Odd One and Bjergsen specifically, they were playing catch-up the whole time. C9 would make the initial play, like that roam on bottom where they ended up catching Bjergsen. And yeah, C9 made the original play. Bjergsen's like, okay, I'm going to roam and try to counter that. And they just caught him out. And the same thing happened when they took the blue, what Kobe was just talking about. C9 made the original play where they took the blue. One tried to reciprocate, and they just punished him for it. And that was pretty much the entire game, is just punishing them for being behind.
Odd One did get that dragon that you talked about. You're like, as soon as you get your wriggles, then you got instant dragon, and he went for it.
Yeah, he actually did do that. He used the farming ability and the objective control for the Feral Flare pretty good. I was like, oh my god, this is so much different than yesterday.
So he got the first one, but then High died 1 versus 1 for Bjergsen, and that cost them the second dragon. So, like TSM, even though they had the timer for the dragon to come up for the second one, because Bjergsen dies 1v1 to High, they don't get to capitalize. They don't get the second one.
That's something that doesn't happen all too often either.
Actually,
1v1ing Bjergsen.
I actually wanted to talk about that dragon a lot. That should have been TSM's dragon because the top lane, Trundle didn't have his TP, and Dyrus was pressuring really, really hard, and he has his TP. So that should have just been a clean dragon for them, and because Bjergsen got just
outplayed,
murdered middle, they just lost dragon because of that.
So we do have a replay. It's one of these slightly more obscure replays. Let's pull this up onto your screen. Basically, at this point in the game, Team Solar Mid are way behind. Let's roll this clip out. A few moments ago, Wild Turtle had been blown up and had been dropped in the background. TSM had tried to start off this Baron and had actually been pushed away from it. It was a desperate call, and Cloud9 positioned well.
Yeah, this is just really Cloud9 just playing, gaining little advantages here and there. And the whole point of this is just to keep TSM occupied. Well, meanwhile, oh, it just cut off, but Sneaky Castro was pushing up in the middle of the lane on that clip. So, yeah, it just looked like the entire game with Cloud9 just getting small advantage, small advantage, small advantage, and they don't want to fight.
They got the inhibitor turret off that. Because of the dancing, the inhibitor turret was pushed all the way up.
And they don't take unnecessary damage from Baron. The times where they start Baron, they tank it just long enough to bait TSM over. As soon as they see TSM in a compromising position, they turn around, everybody leaves Baron, they're all on the same page, they focus down one target, and they get the kills. They don't really tunnel on Baron, which is a problem that a lot of LCS teams do have.
I want to highlight something about the complete control that Cloud9 had. When you look at all of the games that we've seen from both of these teams this weekend, you have the feeling that Cloud9 are completely adapted to this style of play, this objective-focused gameplay, and they never once felt threatened by Team Solar Mid, by their movements, by any play that TSM made. Cloud9 had an answer or were doing something in preparation for TSM.
Yeah, it just looked like Cloud9 was one step ahead of the game, and they never really forced any big fights. There wasn't any huge team fights that game. Not like, oh, we're going to go fight for Dragon, we're going to fight for Baron. They'll bait you into somewhere where they want you, and like, all right, nice, you're right where we want you, and they're off doing something else on the other side of the map. So Cloud9 looks tactically like a better team.
You have to always be planning at least for the next 5 minutes. You can't really play the game reactively anymore. You know, back when I was playing the game, it was just, oh, you just play better than the person who's standing in front of you. You can't do that anymore. You have to plan out the next at least 3 moves that you're going to make.
Well, playing better also helps too. I mean, they won all their lanes
That's
too.
step one.
They won all their lanes too. So.
We'll have to see if TSM can plan a little bit better coming into game 2. We do have to go to a quick break while we rebuild the Nexus for that second game of Team Solo Mid Cloud9. Don't go anywhere. The 2000